Dear students, welcome to the Quantitative Aptitude Solution session of CUET Model Exam 3. So in this session, I will explain the detailed solutions of all the quantitative aptitude questions. Hope you already learned all the basic ideas in your school and college level. So most of the concepts from your school level mathematics. So just recall the tricks and the results related to these all concepts. So with the help of those results, we can catch most of the questions answers. So not only the concepts or the theoretical knowledge is required, at the same time you have to keep an aptitude skill or competitive type of approach towards these types of questions. So we can go through the solutions here. Here the first question is from geometry. P and PB are tangents to a circle with the center O from a point P outside the circle A and B. Are points on the circle. If angle APB is 40 degree, then what is angle OAB? So in such a question, first of all, you have to draw a diagram. So here we are considering a circle, a point outside such P. So consider a tangent here. So here tangent, here P, A and PB. So point P here. Center of the circle, that is O. So while we are considering the radius like this, so we know that this radius and the tangent will make a 90 degree here. So that means the tangent or the point of contact of the tangent and the radius to the point of contact will make a right angle here. So in this question, it is again given that OAB, we have to find out the angle OAB. So here, what is OAB? You have to understand that particular line. This is OAB. So we have to find out this angle. So what is this angle? How to find out it? So and it is given that angle APB equal to 40 degree. Angle APB equal to 40 degree. So then what are the important results here? If angle APB equal to 40 degree, so what will be the central angle? So there are the property that these two angles, angle 40 and angle AOB, so those are supplementary angles. So that means angle APB plus angle AOB are supplementary angles. Supplementary angles means their sum will be equal to 180 degree. So it is given that angle APB equal to 40 degree. If angle APB equal to 40 degree, then we can easily find out what is angle AOB. So their sum is equal to 180 degree. Guess then what is angle AOB? From here it is clear that angle AOB, which is equal to 140 degree. So we got this angle, this is 140 degree. If this angle is 140 degree, then consider the triangle AOB. Which type of triangle is triangle AOB? That is an isosceles triangle. Why? Here OA and OB are the two sides of this triangle, and OA and OB are the radii of the same circle. Therefore, here we can consider triangle AOB is an isosceles triangle. So if triangle AOB is an isosceles triangle, so in triangle AOB, don't forget it is an isosceles triangle. So angle A equal to angle B. As we know, one among those three angles equal to 140. Therefore, the sum of these two angles will be equal to remaining 40 degree. So here we know that angle A plus angle B, so that is 180 minus 140, or that will be equal to 40 degree. So therefore, what will be the angle of each of these angles? Therefore, our required angle is angle OAB, or in this case we mentioned that as simply angle A of triangle angle OAB. So here angle OAB is equal to half of this 40 degree, which is equal to 20 degree. So here we got the answer as option 2, that is 20 degree. So after solving this type of question, we can generate some of the general concept. So in similar such questions here, we know that this angle AOB is the supplementary pair of this angle, supplementary pair in the sense sum of these two angles will be equal to 180 degree. At the same time, we generate another one concepts also. Here we got the idea that, so if it is 40 and this is 140, then what will be this angle? That is always half of this angle. Half of this angle. So we can generalize that concepts here. So how we can generalize the concept here? If this angle is x degree, these two angles are always x by 2 degree. So we can directly reach the conclusions like this. So that's a simple trick behind such a type of questions. So whenever we are doing similar type of questions, you have to keep these results in your mind. We can easily tackle those types of questions. Now we can move to the second question. It's a question from trigonometry. So you already learned some of the basic results and identities of trigonometry. This question is based on the conversion concepts of trigonometry. So here, what is the basic concept here? Here we know that tan 90 minus theta. What is tan 90 minus theta? Just recall the concept. It's a conversion concepts or conversion in the form of allied angles. Allied angles in the sense we are connecting or comparing the given angles with respect to the basic angles like 90, 180, 270 and 360. Here, tan 90 minus theta is nothing but cot theta. So it is similarly cot 90 minus theta. So that is tan theta. So in the similar way, here we are considering tan x. So how we can express this tan x? So tan x, we can express it as cot 90 minus x. Cot 90 minus x. So tan x equal to cot 90 minus x. Why? Here we already mentioned that point. Tan 90 minus theta equal to cot theta. In the similar way, cot 90 minus theta equal to tan theta. Therefore, here we can write this, instead of tan x, you can write this as tan cot 90 minus x. It is given that cot 90 minus x equal to cot 45 plus 2x. So here the functions are same, trigonometrical functions or ratios are same. So we can equate the angles here. Therefore, 90 minus x is same as 45 plus 2x. After simplifying this one, here we will get 3x equal to 90 minus 45, that will be equal to 45 degree. So then what is the value of x? That is equal to 15 degree. So that's the simple logic. Here the answer is 3. Don't forget, here we considered the conversion angles like this, tan 90 minus theta equal to cot theta and cot 90 minus theta. So that's equal to tan theta. Great. So this conversion, we applied this results for the conversion of this question. Whenever we will get similar type of question, always keep it in mind. So that's nothing but the simple conversion concept. With the help of that conversion concepts, you can easily catch the answer of these type of questions. Third one, if the radius of the circumcircle of an equilateral triangle is 8 centimeter, then the measure of radius of its incircle is. While we are considering such a question, at the initial time you may draw the diagrams and make some conclusions here. But once you are familiar with the concepts, it's a direct question. With the help of some direct results, you can reach the conclusions easily. How it is? If it is the case of an equilateral triangle, equilateral, if it's the case of an equilateral triangle, I'm not going to explain the proof of this result, as I am directly giving the result here. The radius of the circumcircle. So radius of the circumcircle. Radius of circumcircle, or that is simply called circumradius. radius of the circumcircle, we are usually expressing that as capital R. This is 2 times the radius of incircle. So this is 2 times the radius of incircle. We are applying this result for finding the answer of similar type of question. So while we are considering the proof of this result, so this is 2 into R. That means R equal to 2 into R. That's based on the concept of centroid and how a centroid divides the median of an equilateral triangle. That's in the ratio 2:1. So based on that idea, that is circumradius is 2 times of in radius. So with the help of this data, it is given that circumradius of this triangle is 8 centimeter. This is 8 centimeter. And we know that as per the result, this is 2 times of in radius. Then we can easily conclude what is in radius, that is 8 by 2, which is equal to 4 centimeter. Hence our answer is option 4. Again, while we are considering such a question, so what do you have to consider? You are attending this kind of an aptitude kind of exam. So always keep it in mind, some of the logical type of approach also will help you to overcome from such a situation or reach a tricky conclusion of similar type of questions. Instead of doing the entire questions mathematically, you can think about it in a logical manner. While we are considering this question, anyway, you know that this circumradius in the sense the radius of the circumcircle of a triangle, so definitely that is greater than its in radius. Or in the other ways or vice versa, if you are considering it in the converse way, so the in radius of the circle is in radius of a circle is less than its circumradius. So you can make such a logical conclusion. So you don't want to bother about what's the actual relationship between this in radius and circumradius, but simply we can make the conclusion in radius of a triangle is definitely less than the circumradius of the same triangle. Here we know that our answer should be less than 8 centimeter while we are considering the set of options. So how many of them are less than 8 centimeter? Simply look at the options there. So then we will get the answer. There is only one possible option there, that is 4 centimeter. In this question, set of options are quite favorable. So whenever we'll get similar type of favorable situations, never waste such a chance. So you have to keep a logical eye towards each and every question. Like that also you can reach the conclusion. Yeah, next, another one tricky question. It's the question from time at work. So these types of topics, you need additional preparations. Maybe you learned its basic type of concepts in your school level. But when we are moving or converting it in the logical manner, at that time you have to learn the method or approaching styles towards such type of questions. So here the question is 3 men, 4 women, 6 boys together can complete a work in 6 days. A woman does triple the work a man does, and a boy does half the work a man does. How many women alone will be able to complete the work in 4 days? After reading the question, you got the idea that we have to convert the efficiency of the entire group in the sense this group contains man, woman and boy. We have to convert the efficiency of each of them with respect to the efficiency of woman. So here, while we are considering man, woman, boy, so I am considering the efficiencies of these group. Efficiency of this group. I am starting from this woman. So suppose the efficiency of woman, I just put that as W. So what it means, a woman can complete W units of work per day. That's a simple logic. So I just put that value as W. And what's the statement here in the comparison part? A woman does triple the work a man does. So just pause that statement there. A woman does triple the work that a man does in a day. So how we can consider the efficiency of man with respect to this W? So here, woman's efficiency is 3 times of man. So therefore, each man's efficiency is 1/3 the time of a woman. So therefore, we can write it as W by 3. Have we got the logic clearly? Now we are moving to the efficiency of boy. So what it mentioned here, a boy does half the work of a man does. Again, the efficiency of boy is connected with the efficiency of man. So boy's efficiency is half the efficiency of man here. So how we can write boy's efficiency here? That is exactly half of this value. So how it is? This is W by half of this value means by 6. Got it? So these are the efficiency. You have to keep a visualization in your mind about in a single day, a man can do W by 3 quantity of work, woman can do W quantity of work, and boy can do W by 6 quantity of work. That's a simple logic. And we are connecting it with the first statement. From there, we are reaching the answer. So it is given that 3 men, 4 women, and 6 boys. So 3 men, 4 women, and 6 boys can complete a work in 6 days. Can complete a work in 6 days. From this statement, we are connecting or comparing with the given efficiencies. 3 men. What is the efficiency of 3 men with respect to this illustration or assumption? So that is 3 into W by 3 plus 4 women, that is directly 4 into W. 6 boys, 6 into W by 6. Got it? So after simplifying this one, what we will get? This is simply W, 4W, again W. So that is equal to 6W. So such an efficiency, or that is simply 6 women can complete a work in 6 days. Got it? So that's the situation here. So we can write this step like this. 6 women can complete a work in 6 days. Then we have to find out the number of women required to finish the same work in 4 days. So here N women, so that we are going to find out N women, they needs to finish the same work in 4 days. So we have to find out what is the value of N. That's a simple trick. So understand, it's an inverse variation concept. Whenever the number of women will increase, the days will decrease. Or if the number of women will decrease, the days will increase. So definitely we know that our answer is greater than 6. But all the given options are, except the second one, are greater than 6. Then what you have to do in such a situation, here you have to consider product of these 2 values is same as product of these 2 values. We are applying that logic for finding the answer, because these 2 are inverse variation concept, or M1 D1 equal to M2 D2. That's a basic result. So here 6 into 6 is equal to N into 4. So by applying that result, here we will get N into 4, which is equal to 6 into 6. Then what is the value of N here? This is 36 by 4, that is equal to 9. So that means here, for the completion of the same work in 4 days, 9 women required. Hence the answer is option 1. So understand the method of that efficiency-wise approach. Instead of doing this algebraic type approach, you can consider the values also. It's in the form of ratio approach, but it's a convenient approach instead. Understand, you have to learn these types of methods for solving similar kind of questions. It's not a mere theoretical or the result-wise approach. You have to apply the logic behind these types of questions. Then only you can easily tackle these types of questions. So now we can move to the next question. It's basically a data interpretation type question. But understand here, this data contains exactly 1 question. So understand the data properly. Table shows the percentage distribution. Percentage distribution, not number. While reading the data, interpreting the data, those types of details we have to consider seriously, right? Percentage distribution of the expenditure incurred on different items for publishing a book. So here the different heads or the items here, and its percentage distribution here. Here what we need to find out, expenditure on royalty. What is expenditure on royalty? So this is expenditure on royalty is less than that on printing. So here printing is this one, is by what percentage? So it's comparison approach. Here expenditure on royalty is what percentage less than that on printing. So what is the difference here? This expenditure on royalty is how much less than that on printing? That is 5%. Or suppose if you are considering the total cost of this publishing process is 100 rupee. So these are the different denominations we are spending in each situation, or different amounts we are spending in each hertz. In such a situation, printing its cost is rupees 20 and royalty its cost is rupees 15. So this royalties cost is how much less than that of printing is simply 5 rupee. Got it? So here in this case in general that is 5%. We are going to find out how to find this percentage values. So immediately how to consider this difference is what percentage of printing, because while we are comparing the percentage values like this, immediately after the term than, which will come immediately after than, that should keep as the denominator. Therefore here we can consider, so required percentage, our required percentage, so that is equal to the expenditure on royalty, expenditure on, so here the greater value is printing, therefore first we can consider printing, expenditure on printing minus expenditure on royalty divided by, after this then what will be the value? Expenditure on printing, expenditure on printing, got it? Expenditure on printing into 100%. So this is the concept. Here the very important point, which will be the denominator. You have to create a clear picture about the denominator here. After this then, which will comes immediately after that, so that will be the denominator or base of this operation. So in this context, so that is 20 minus 15 divided by, expenditure on printing is 20 into 100%. So this is equal to 5 by 20 into 100%. So what is 5 by 20? We know that 5 by 20 is 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 is 25%. So the answer is option 2, 25%. So it's a very simple percentage type approach. So it's a common algebraic question based on identity applications. So before moving to the actual explanation of the solution, first of all, you just recall the identity in the form a cube plus b cube. What is a cube plus b cube? So a cube plus b cube is a plus b into a square plus ab plus b square. So this is a plus a square plus the result for a cube plus b cube, or the identity. At the same time, you just recall another one identity, a plus b the whole cube. What is a plus b the whole cube? A cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. Or we can write it as, so we can write it as a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b, 3ab into a plus b. So this is the result of a plus b the whole cube, a plus b the whole cube. From such a situation, here also we can frame one a cube plus b cube result. So here a cube plus b cube, that is nothing but a plus b the whole cube minus 3ab into a plus b. So in similar type of questions, we have to follow this type of a result. So while using this result, we can find the answer. Don't forget, instead if you are seeing this result x cube plus 1 by x cube, immediately you may think like this, that is the application of a cube plus b cube, like this one, a plus b into a square plus ab plus b square. But that's not the application of this result. Instead, we are applying this result. So then we can consider what will be the value of x cube plus 1 by x cube. So instead of considering x cube plus 1 by x cube, you just put these values here. If you are applying this x cube plus y cube instead of this x cube plus 1 by x cube, this is x plus 1 by x the whole cube minus 3 into x into 1 by x into x plus 1 by x. Directly we can reach the conclusion like that. So here, this is x cube plus 1 by x cube. So that is x plus 1 by x the whole cube minus 3 into x into 1 by x into x plus 1 by x. Either you can solve the question like this, or otherwise you can simply cube this value. From there also you can catch it. Or this is x cube plus y cube is nothing but x plus 1 by x the whole cube minus 3 into x plus 1 by x, because this x and x will become simplified there, so that become 1. It is given that x plus 1 by x equal to 5. So its numerical conclusion is 5 cube minus 3 into 5. That is simple. So what is y? 5 cube. 5 cube is 125. 3 into 5, that is 15. So 125 minus 15, which is equal to 110. And the answer is option 1. So understand the method of this algebraic type of approach. Whenever, if you are considering the answers of this type of questions, you have to learn this algebraic identity-wise approach. That's a very important thing. You have to learn the very important identities for tackling these types of questions, and you have to practice well also. Now consider a very common percentage type approach. So here is a question related to discount. What is the difference between a single discount of 30% and a single discount equivalent to two successive discounts of 25% and 5% being given on shopping for rupees 2000? It's a concept related to successive discounts. Successive discounts. So here, first it is given that here the single discount. It is given that the single discount that is 30%. Therefore, the net discount as per the successive discounts. So here, successive discount. So there you have to understand the result. Successive discounts, two successive discounts of x% and y% will be equal to a net discount of x plus y minus x into y by 100%. So this is the result for two successive discounts. So if a seller is offering two successive discounts of x% and y%, the net percentage of discount will be like this: x plus y minus x into y by 100. So here 25 and 5 are the values for x and y in this context. So here we are considering what will be the net effect of these two successive discounts. So here this is 25 plus 5 minus 25 into 5 by 100%. Got it? So this is simply 25 plus 5, that will be equal to 30. 30 minus, so this one here we know that after simplifying this one, this is 5 by 4%. 5/4%. Got it? So keep the values like this. You don't want to make it as a complicated set of operation. What actually we need to find out? So we are connecting the concepts with the difference between the discounts. So difference in discounts. So difference in discounts. So we are considering it in a logical manner. While we are considering the difference in discount in the sense 30% and this value. What is the difference in discounts? Just closely observe. Here the first direct discount is 30% and the second one is 30 minus 5/4%. Where we got the maximum discount in the first case. Two successive discounts, how it occurred like this? Because, so first a 25% discount offered on the marked price. Successive discount means second 5% will be offered on the reduced price. That's why our net discount is less than the total discount by 5/4%. So here, what is the difference in discount? You just simply focus on this 5/4 part. So that is 5/4%. So 5/4%, then we are going to find out the discount amount, difference amount. So that is 5/4% of the total marked price being given on shopping rupees 2000. So here we are going to find out what is 5/4% of 2000. What is the difference between single discount and two equivalent discount, means successive discounts of 25 and 5% being given on shopping of rupees 2000. Here that 2000 rupee that as the marked price or the listed price of this article. That's why we are considering the difference in discount amounts like this 5/4% of 2000. How to simplify this one? 5/4%. How to write it? It is 5/4. This percent we have to consider that as a by 100 operation, because the value of percent symbol is nothing but 1/100. So this is 5/400 of 2000. So just simplifying this one, how many 400 will make this 2000? That is 5 times. Therefore this is nothing but 5 into 5 rupees 25. So this rupees 25 is the difference in the discount amount. Understand this result? Like this way we can catch the answer. Or in an alternative way also you can find the answer of such a question. Instead of doing this result-wise approach, we can consider it's an alternative way. How to find it? It's in a direct calculation way. So direct calculation way is very simple. First we are considering this direct discount of 25%, 30%. So this is 30% discount. First we are considering this 30% discount. So here the marked price as 2000. So we are offering a direct discount of 30%. The direct discount of 30%. What is 30% of 2000? 30% of 2000 is simply 600. So then what will be the selling price here? 1400. This is the first situation. As per the first calculation, the discount amount is 600. While we are moving to the second discount condition, so initially 2000 as the marked price here. So here first 25% discount offered. Now you have to consider what is 25% of 2000? That is 1/4 of this value. That is nothing but 500. So when we deduct this 500 from the marked price, this value becomes 1500. The trick behind successive variation, successive discount lies here. So further we are considering 5%. 5%. So here this 5% is applicable on this reduced amount, not the actual initial amount. Here what is 5% of 1500? How we can find out it? You already learned the concept that 1% of a quantity or 1% of 1500, you just place the decimal 2 places towards left side. So this is 1% is 15. 5 into 15, that is 5% of this value. 5 into 15 is how much? So that is 75. Then what will be this value? This is 1425. Actually these final values are irrelevant. Here, what is the total discount received here? That is 575. Consider these two values. Here, the first discount is 600 and the second discount is 575. What's the difference in discounts that we are going to find out? So therefore, the difference in discount amount, that is 600 minus 575, that is rupees 25. That's a simple direct approach towards this question. You can easily understand this concept. So like this way also you can guess the answer of this type of questions. It's not a complicated thing. Next is a concept of simplification. That means the hierarchy of mathematical operations. You all learned the concept of hierarchy of mathematical operations in the sense you can recall the mnemonics V bot mass. So bot mass operations you can recall. So what is bot mass? So B stands for brackets. Which type of brackets they are? So the first one, that is an open bracket. Second one, that is a curly bracket. And third one, that is a closed bracket. So in this question, it's used all the types of brackets here. Open bracket, curly bracket, and closed or square bracket. O stands for off. In our question, it's not used. D stands for division. M stands for multiplication. A stands for addition, and S stands for subtraction. So this is the hierarchy of mathematical operational order. That means, first of all, we have to consider these brackets, and that should be in the given order. First, you have to consider the open bracket, then curly bracket, finally closed bracket. Then if the question contains this off operation, you have to do the off operation. Off operation is merely considered in the form of multiplication while we are dealing with the numerical situations. And D stands for division, and so on. So while we are considering our operation, first what you have to do, so this most inner bracket we have to do. So this most inner bracket, that is 2 and 1 by 2 plus 3 by 4. So before moving to that step of operation, I just rearrange the given mixed fractions in the form of improper fraction. That's the first step I am going to do. Why we are considering that kind of a conversion? If you are doing the addition and subtraction only, you don't want to convert the mixed fractions into improper fractions. You can directly do the operations with the mixed fractions itself. But if you are doing the multiplication or division, you have to convert the mixed fractions in the form of improper fractions. Here the first one. What is 9 and 3 by 4? 4 into 9, that is 36, plus 3, that is 39. So this first value, this is 39 by 4, divided by, then in the closed bracket, 2 and 1 by 6. So 6 into 2, that's equal to 12. 12 plus 1, 13 by 6, divided by, again divided by, then curly bracket start here, 4 and 1 by 3. 3 into 4, 12, plus 1, 13. 13 by 3. Again open bracket. 2 and 1 by 2. So that is 5 by 2. Plus 3 by 4. So that's in a proper fraction, in the form of a proper fraction. So this is the entire step of operations. From where we have to start our operations. First we are starting from this step. 5 by 2 plus 3 by 4. Like that we are starting our operation from this step. So first step, what is 5 by 2 plus 3 by 4. So this 5 by 2 we can write it as 10 by 4. Plus this is 3 by 4. So that is 13 by 4. So this part, its value is 13 by 4. We got the value of this portion. Then we are connecting it with the second part. So that is 13 by 3 into this value. So that is equal to 13. Here it's a subtraction. 13 by 3 minus, so here 13 by 3 minus this inside bracket value, so that is 13 by 4. What it will be, you just consider this is 4 into 13, this is 3 into 13, like this. This is 4 minus 3 into 13 divided by 3 into 4, that is equal to 12, or that is 13 by 12. So we got the value of this much. Further, we are moving to the next step. That is 13 by 6 divided by 13 by 12. So that is simply 13 by 6 into the reciprocal. Just multiply the second fractions, use multiplying with the second fractions reciprocal. What is 13 by 2? Its reciprocal, that is 12 by 13. Here we know that 13 become simplified. 12 by 6, that's equal to 2. And the final step, that is 39 by 4 divided by, so this value we already got that as 2. So this is simply 39 by 4 into 1 by 2. So the answer is 39 by 4 into 2, that is 8. Hence the answer is 39 by 8. This is a step of entire simplification operation here. So understand that order of mathematical operation. The help of that order of mathematical operations, we can find the answer of similar type of questions. And it's a comparatively easier set of questions. You have to learn the basic type of operations, and especially in the case of operations of fractions, that is very important. Okay. So next is another data interpretation type question. So here, first you have to read and understand the concept. The table shows the percentage of marks obtained by 7 students in 6 subjects in an examination. The number in the brackets are the maximum marks in each subject. Here we need to find out what are the average marks obtained by all the 7 students in physics. So while we are considering the column of physics, so the total marks is 120. What is the total percentage here they scored if you are adding all the percentages together? For that purpose, if you need to find out the average mark, average means total in the sense sum divided by number. Average means sum of all the students' marks in physics divided by number means here in this case that is 7. So here we need to find out what is this percentage wise sum. If you are adding these all values from the column itself, this is 5 plus 5, that is 10. 1 is there, 6. So 1 we are adding with this 5, 6. 6 plus 6, 12. 12 plus 8, 20. 28, 35, 43, 52. So this is 520. Correct? So now we got the sum of their marks is simply 520 percentage of this value. This is 120. So that's the maximum mark of that paper. So here we are dividing it by 7. And we are going to find out the answer of this one. Just find out what is 520% of 120. How to do that operation easily. So there you just simply multiply 52 and 12. Just remove those 2 zeros balanced with this percentage. Or this is simply 520 by 100 into 120. At that time also we can do the simple operations like this, 52 and 12. So what is 52 into 12? So here 52 into 12. You have to learn the method to multiply those values by mind. Anyway, right now I am explaining the simple mathematical method. Here 10 times of 52 is 520 and 2 times of 52 is 104. Like that also you can approach. Here this is 2 into 2, 4, 2 into 5, 10. So this is 52. So therefore this is 624. So here we got the value that is 624. This is 624 by 7. Do the normal simplifications. 7 won't lie in 6. Therefore consider 62 together. So how many 7 will lie in 62? 8 times. Correct? So while we are studying the values like this, from that point itself we can reach the conclusion here only one value that start with 8. Yeah, anyway, forgetting most accurate value, you just do the remaining step of operation. Here we got 8 into 7, that is equal to 56. So remainder 6 will be there. 64 is there. So 9 times of 7, so that is 63. So you don't want to waste your time for the step of operation. So now it's crystal clear that out of these 4 set of options, this is only the suitable value, as there is not any none of these options. So you don't want to waste your time for further step of operations. This is approximately 89.14. So whenever you are doing the calculations of similar type of data interpretation questions, there is a chance to waste our time too much. We may consider the most accurate type of operations as a hangover of our school level experience. So there we are doing the entire operations even at the final step of our answer. Then after that only we will look into the options. Instead, while we are considering a time restricted exam like this, so here testing your skills, here we are not considering, or the agencies are not testing whether you are mastery in a particular subject, whether you have a deep knowledge in such a subject. Instead, some of the skills are testing there, basic skills. So at that time you have to consider your exam taking strategy. That is very important. Question management skill is very important. Therefore you have to consider these types of some logical conclusion. Your approximation skill is also very important. It's a basic algebraic identity related question. So here the question, while observing the question, x minus 5 the whole cube, x plus x minus 6 the whole cube, plus x minus 7 the whole cube equal to 3 into x minus 5 into x minus 6 into x minus 7, then what is the value of x? How to do it? How to do it? So there, the first easiest thing you have to keep it in your mind, whenever we are observing such a type of question and you forget all the algebraic identities or the concepts, so don't be worried at that time. So don't become panic at that time. You just simply consider these all are manageable range of things. Manageable range of things. So you just simply substitute the values from the options. Values from the options. Got it? Values from the options. So I just give you a trick in such a situation. So while we are observing the set of situations here, 5, 6, 7, they are also 5, 6, 7. So most of the time, the middlemost value, you just put the middlemost value here. Suppose I'm starting with this 6. Instead of x, I just substitute the value of x as 6. So if x is equal to 6, then after that I will explain the actual method or the conventional method of this concept. If x equal to 6, what will happen here? This is 6 minus 5 the whole cube. We are testing whether the left hand side and right hand side are matching. This is x minus 6 in the sense that is 6 minus 6. So 6 minus 6, it's become 0. 6 minus 6 the whole cube, and finally it will become 6 minus 7 the whole cube. Got it? So what is the value of this one? This is 6 minus 5 the whole cube, that is 1 cube, and 6 minus 6 the whole cube, that is 0 cube, and finally 6 minus 7 whole cube, that is minus 1 cube, that is minus 1 itself. What will be the value? Finally this will be equal to 0. So we are checking whether the right hand side also will give the same value. So right hand side, there we got that here 3 into x minus 5, that is 6 minus 5, into 6 minus 6 into 6 minus 7. As we know, the 6 minus 6 is equal to 0, hence this entire product will become 0. Simple. So we reach the conclusion that's equal to 6. Instead, if you are substituting x as 5, you will get these two values are not matching. So then we will get the idea that we have to make some changes in our options. So like this way, you can catch the answer of this type of questions easily. You don't want to worry about the algebraic identity behind this type of questions. And so you can directly reach the conclusion of such type of questions. At the same time, we can consider what is the actual version of this question. So here, if x cube plus y cube, it's an important identity, x cube plus y cube plus z cube is equal to 3xyz. So actually it's not the identity is different. So I am giving the condition based on the identity. So that is equal to x cube plus y cube plus xz cube equal to 3xyz. Then what is the conclusion here? X plus y plus z equal to 0. It's a very important understanding. If x cube plus y cube plus z cube equal to 3xyz, then x plus y plus z equal to 0. So here it is given that x minus 5 the whole cube plus x minus 6 the whole cube plus x minus 7 the whole cube. So that is equal to 3 times of x minus 5, x minus 6 and x minus 7. So like our given condition. Instead of x, that is x minus 5, y x minus 6 is that x minus 7 and so on. Then what's the conclusion there? If there is a condition like this, what we can say? Therefore, then we can say x minus 5 plus x minus 6 plus x minus 7 will be equal to 0. While we are adding these values together, what you will get? This is equal to 3x minus 18 equal to 0, or 3x equal to 18, hence the value of x is equal to 6. We reach the conclusion that the answer is option 2. So like these types of identities you have to by heart whenever we are seriously considering the exams. You have to keep, or you have to brush up these all various types of identities and the basic results which you learned in your school level, because those all results are very relevant in most of the questions. Immediately you can reach the conclusions of most of the trickiest questions easily. And so the next question is another algebraic type of question. A cube minus b cube equal to 208 and a minus b equal to 4, then what is a plus b the whole square minus ab? First of all, you have to reach some conclusions about this algebraic type of operations here. What is the expansion of a cube minus b cube? So this is a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. This is a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. Then what is a plus b the whole square minus ab? So first of all, then we have to consider what is a plus b the whole square. A plus b the whole square. So that is a square plus 2ab plus b square. So therefore, a plus b the whole square minus ab. So that is nothing but a square plus 2ab plus b square minus ab. What will happen? This 2ab minus ab, that is equal to ab itself. Therefore, a square plus ab plus b square. So just observe this one. This is a square plus ab plus b square. This is a square plus ab plus b square. So then how we can convert this result? This is a cube minus b cube. We can write it in the form a minus b into a plus b the whole square minus ab. So we just substitute this expression instead of this expression. So that's the trick behind this question. And it is given that the values, this a cube minus b cube, it is given as 208 and a minus b as 4 into our required expression. What is required expression? A plus b the whole square minus ab. Then you can easily find out what is a plus b the whole square minus ab here. From this step, this is a plus b the whole square minus ab. So that is simply 208 by 4. So what it is? This is equal to 52. So our required answer is option C, option 3, that is 52. So these all are some of the games with identities again. You have to learn the algebraic skills for finding the answer of these types of questions. Now we can consider another one tricky question. It's a concept-wise question based on averages. It is given that the average of 27 numbers is 0. Out of them, how many may be greater than 0 at the most? We need to find out the maximum number of observations which are greater than 0. So here, average, if average is equal to 0, then sum is also be equal to 0. Average 0, then we have to conclude that the sum of those set of observations is also equal to 0. That's why average equal to 0. So therefore, that means the sum of these 27 numbers, sum of 27 numbers is 0. Just consider a situation. I am considering sum of 26 numbers, 26 among them, that is x, say a certain quantity, sum of 26 among them, that is x. I am considering all these 26 numbers are greater than 0. All these 26 numbers are greater than 0. So then the last number or the remaining one number remaining one number, so that I am considering as minus x. Don't forget, these all 26 numbers, we assumed that those all numbers are greater than 0 and they have a sum, that sum is equal to x. Suppose the 27th one, that's the remaining one number, it's that number itself is negative x. What will happen? The total sum. So net sum will become x minus x, so that is equal to 0. It's a possible situation. So what we can logically conclude here, at most 26 among them can be greater than 0. At most 26 among them can be greater than 0. So only one required to be less than 0. That one, that should be the negative part of that positive sum. Like that, we can balance the quantities in similar type of operations. Next is a time and distance question. So most of the time, students are facing difficulties in some of the arithmetic-based questions like this, time and distance, time and work and all, just because they don't have a proper practice in these topics. Once you are familiar with the tricky approaching styles of these type of questions, you can easily catch the answer of these questions without putting, without investing much more effort for doing the operations of these types of questions. I'm giving a tricky, very simple, a single step operation for finding the answer of this question. So instead of doing too much lengthy algebraic type of steps, you have to understand the situation clearly in a logical way. Like that, you can reach the conclusion. Here the question is, A starts walking at 4 km/h. After 4 hours, B starts cycling from the same point as that of A, in the same direction at 10 km/h. After how much distance from the starting point will B catch up with A? Is a common type of questions. Understand, here we are doing it with the basic concepts, that's as a time difference. Here time difference, that is 4 hours. So that's a key point here. Then the logic we are applying here, that's the ratio of time is inverse, the inverse ratio of speed. So first of all, we are considering this A and B. What is the ratio of their speed? Ratio of their speed. It is given that the speed of A is 4 km/h and speed of B is 10 km/h. For the simplification, we'll get this is 2:5. Then what is the ratio of their time? Ratio of their time in the sense when they are covering a constant distance. At that time, the ratio of time is the inverse of ratio of speed. So the basic assumption here, this happened when distance is constant. Distance constant. Got it? That means each of them covered a constant distance. That's the logic here. So A reached a particular point at that instant, B catch up. So therefore they covered equal distance. The time and the speeds are different. And it is given that the time difference between them, that is, so in this case time difference is 3, right? As per these ratios, this is called unitary method. instead of putting x in both cases, I am simply considering what is the ratio-wise difference here. So ratio-wise difference, that 3 is representing the time difference. In question, it is given that this 3 is actually representing 4 hours. 4 hours. If 3 is representing 4 hours, we can easily find out the time, total time taken by A or B for covering this distance. So I am considering what the time taken by B for covering this distance. So therefore, time taken by B for this entire trip, that is represented by 2. We are going to find out what this 2 represents. As 3 represents 4 hours, 2 represents what will be the value. So how to do it? You just simply consider the logic behind this unitary method. 3 chocolates, its cost is 4 rupee. Then what is the price for 2 chocolates? So how to do it? First you have to consider what is the price of each chocolate. So that is 4 by 3, because here we know that 3 chocolates, its price is 4 rupee. Therefore, the chocolate means per chocolate price, that will be 4 by 3. Such 2 chocolates, so therefore into 2. That means the total time taken by B for this entire trip is 8 by 3 hours. 8 by 3 hours. You don't want to waste your time for finding the simplification of this value at this point of time. If it's required at the final point, we can do the accurate step of operations. So if you got the time taken by B, actual time taken by B for covering this distance, we have the speed of B. What is speed of B? That is 10. So it is given that the speed of B, so that is 10 km per hour. Therefore, we can easily conclude what will be the distance. So required distance. Here, what is the required distance here? So while we are considering the required distance. So here the required distance is speed 10 km per hour and time 8 by 3 hours. So speed into time, that's the distance. Here that is 10 into 8 by 3. What is 10 into 8 by 3? That is 80 by 3. So 80 by 3 you can do it directly. Here we know that 2 times of 3, that's equal to 6. Remainder 2 is there, 20. So here we will get that is 6 times of 3, that is 18. Again 2 is there, 20, that is equal to 6, etc. So that's a recurring decimal. So then we can round up it as 26.67 kilometer. 26.67 kilometer. Hence the answer is option 2. Like this way, we can catch the answer of this question instead of doing too much algebraic type of operation. Understand? Here the key point is 4 hours. That's the difference between their time requirement. And we are using the ratio-wise approach towards this question. Okay, then next one. Geometrically result-wise question we can consider. In triangle ABC, angle A is 50 degree. Consider a triangle ABC, angle A is 50 degree. Its side AB and AC are reduced to the point D and E. So we can draw the diagram like this. So this is triangle ABC. AB and AC produced to the points D and E. If the bisectors, and it is given that this angle is 50 degree. This angle is 50 degree. If the bisectors of the angle CBD and BCE meet at the point O. So bisectors of CBD and BCE. So while we are considering the bisectors here, so this angle bisectors, we can draw it like this. Got it? And this angle's bisector, we can draw it like this. So these two bisectors meet at the point O. This is point O. We have to find out angle BOC. angle BOC. Actually, these two bisectors are external angle bisectors. External angle bisectors. Here again, I am not going to explain the proof of the results. Instead, I am directly giving what is the result here. So with the help of that result, we can easily catch what will be the answer. So as per external angle bisector theorem, external angle bisector theorem, external angle bisector theorem, what we can conclude here, external angle bisector theorem, here angle BOC from the diagram, that is simply 90 minus angle A by 2, angle A by 2. So that's a direct result. This angle BOC, the measure of this angle BOC is 90 minus angle A by 2. So with the help of this result, you can easily conclude this is 90 minus 50 by 2. That is 90 minus 25. 90 minus 25. What will be the answer here? So that's equal to 65 degree. So here the answer is option 1. So it's an important result. These types of results are important while we are doing these types of questions. So if you forgot these results at that time, at the time of exam, you won't get any idea about the solution of these types of questions. That's why you have to by heart these results. With the help of these results, instantly you can reach the conclusions. Anyway, at this point of time, I'm not going to explain the proof of this method. So you can think about what's the logic here. So here we know that if you're splitting this entire angle, that's equal to 180 degree. So if this angle is x degree, this is also x degree. Like this way you can develop the concept. Never misinterpret that this angle are equal, because it's one that kind of a direction or information that whether the given triangle ABC is an isosceles or equilateral. But at the same time also, you can visualize with a basic model. Suppose the angles are isosceles, then what will happen here? Like that also you can develop. So that's under tricky logic. So in that way also you can reach the conclusion. But this is a general approach in the sense with the help of this data, you can reach the conclusion that the given answer is equal to 65 degree. So another one question, it's from the profit and loss. Is a ratio-wise approach of profit and loss. That's an easiest type of question. It's not a complicated one. If the selling price of 40 articles is equal to the cost price of 50 articles, then the percentage of loss or gain. So that's very simple. You can simply write the steps like selling price of 40 articles. I just write it as 40 SP. Simply you can write it like this. Selling price of 40 articles, simply you just write 40 SP. So it means the selling price of 40 articles. And that is equal to the cost price of 50 articles. Then how we can write here? That is 50 CP. Got it? So you just convert like this, selling price by cost price. I'm taking this cost price towards left side. And on right side, what will happen? This is 50 by 40. For the simplification, that is 5 by 4. That's why I mentioned that it's a basic ratio application question. Here, finally, we reach the ratio of selling price and cost price. So here, cost price is 4 rupee. Selling price is 5 rupee. We have to consider like that. And for framing the ratios like this, always keep it in your mind that it's better to keep the denominator as cost price. Why? We know that whenever we are considering the profit percentage or loss percentage in similar type of operations, cost price as the base of the operation. So here, for that purpose, we are keeping the denominator as cost price. Here 4 is cost price and 5 is selling price. Easily we can do the refer like this. Here 4 rupee, we just made a profit of 1 rupee. So because this 5 is 1 more than 4 and 4 is cost price, 1 is profit, then how to find out the profit percentage here? So here the profit percentage It has 1 by 4 into 100%. It's easy. While observing itself, we got the answer. What is 1 by 4? 1 by 4 is 25%. Simple. So it's a very simple question. Don't forget, it's 25% gain. And while obtaining your answer from the given set of options, you have to be alert at that point of time. So once you reach the conclusion that 25%, never misinterpret that. There are two 25% in our options. One is profit, another one is loss. So you have to up the profit. So and if you are running out of time, at that time we won't get sufficient time to observe the options properly. At that time we may make mistake. Some type of situations. And next one. That's another tricky trigonometry question. What is the favorable part there? Most of the questions asked from trigonometry or any other mathematical situations. So almost all the concepts are based on the basic results. Not much tricky and the challenging concepts, especially from the topic or the subjective type of questions like trigonometry. So what is the advantage there? You just brush up the basic things which you learned in your school level from those topics. And most of the questions you can expect from that textbook itself, most of this time. Because there are some of the basic, beautiful questions, it's available in your textbooks. So here, we can consider what's the logic. Before moving to the solution of this question, I just recall or I just give the idea of some of the basic values like identity of trigonometry, that is sine square theta plus cos square theta. So what is the value of sine square theta plus cos square theta? That is 1. That's the trick behind this question. And another one conversion concept also I just give. What is sine 90 minus theta? That's the concept of allied angles. What is sine 90 minus theta? That is cos theta. Similarly, what is cos 90 minus theta? So that is sine theta. So we are using these three results or the allied angle concepts and the identity for solving this type of question. And with the help of the given information or the given set of values, we are making the suitable allied angle conversions. So how to do it? Here, for making this identity applications, we just consider this is sine square 24. We have to convert this sine square 66 also in the form of sine version. So therefore, we are converting that numerator part of this first one. This is sine square 24 degree plus this is sine square 90 minus 24. What is 66? 66 is nothing but 90 minus 24. So whether we are applying a square, that's not a matter. Sine of 90 minus 24, the whole square, that is sine square 90 minus 24. Similarly, the denominator. This cos we have to convert in the form of sine. So therefore, this is cos square 90 minus 66 plus this one cos square 66 plus on right side. This is sine square 61. Keep it like that. Plus this is cos 61. Cos 61 into the sine 29, we can write it as sine 90 minus 61. Got it? And we can do the suitable conversions here. This is sine square 24 plus sine square of 90 minus theta, that becomes cos square 24 divided by this is cos 90 minus theta, that is sine. So this is sine square 66 plus cos square 66 again plus this is sine square 61, keep it in that form itself, sine square 61 plus what is the sine 90 minus 61? So that is cos 61. Cos 61 into cos 61, we can write it as cos square 61. So we can consider each of these expressions in the brackets. Here this is sine square theta plus cos square theta, that's equal to 1. And on denominator, that is another sine square theta plus cos square theta, that's another 1. Again, this term that is also sin square theta plus cos square theta, that is 1. So what will be the final answer? This is 1 by 1 plus 1, that's equal to 2. Hence the answer is option 3. So next is a very simple question. If 85% of a number is added to 75, then the result is the number itself, then the number is. You just simply consider when 85% of a number, 85% of a number, suppose the number as n, is added to 75, then the result is the number itself. Result is the number itself. So this is a step usually we can write. But there is a shift that we have to make while we are doing this type of operations. This number itself, instead of writing this n plainly, that number itself is nothing but 100% of n. So that's an important twist here. You have to understand that kind of a step. So 100% of n means n itself, or 1 time of n. From there, you can develop the concept. We know that 100% of n minus 85% of n will be equal to 75. So 100% of n minus 85% of n, that is equal to 75. Got it? So what is 100% of n minus 85%? They are the important understanding. If the base values are same, you can take the difference of these percentage values. This is 100 minus 85, that is 15. So this is 15% of n is equal to 75. Just think about the step of operation once again. So if you got the idea like this, instead of writing this entire steps up to this one, you can directly reach the conclusion logically. Suppose if you are adding 85% of a number to a certain quantity, we'll get the entire number in the sense 100%. So what is the required quantity to fill this 85% as 100%? We got that is simply 15% of the number itself. So you can directly reach what is 15% of the number itself. Then after that, if you need to find out what is the value of n, that is 75 by 15 into 100. So 75 by 15 into 100, here we know that this is 5 times, right? 5 times of 15 is equal to 75. And this is 500. So the answer is 500. That's it. This way, we can catch the answer of this type of questions easily. The next one is a question from compound interest. You already learned the basic results for finding in the amount under compound interest. What was the amount under compound interest? How to find out amount? Amount under compound interest. So principal P, 1 plus rate of interest per annum R by 100, the whole raised to n, number of years. So this is the results we are doing for these types of operations. So in this question, it is given that in 4 years, 2190 and 2409 in 5 years. Then we have to find out the rate of interest. So first, we are considering this 2190 in 4 years, 2409 in 5 years. First, I am considering the second concept, that is 2409. So that is 5 years, means more number of years and the largest amount. I am taking that value at first. So that means amount after 5 years. So we can consider like this, amount after 5 years. So that is P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole raised to 5. It is given as 2409. Similarly, amount after 4 years. So we can write it as P into 1 plus R by 100, the whole raised to 4. So that is equal to 2109. So I just going to apply a simple trick. I am simply dividing this A5 by A4. So here this is 2409 by 2109. What we will get? So here we know that P and P will become eliminated. This is simply 1 by R by 100. Why? Here we know that m raised to 5, then m raised to 4. What it will become? M raised to 5 minus 4. That will become m itself. So you just consider this expression alone. This will be equal to. Then the next part, that's the numerical part. 2409, 219. 2109 or 2190, sorry. 2190. 2409, 2190. What's the relationship here? If you got the idea that this 2409 is 11 times of 219, you can easily reach the conclusion. What is 219 into 11? So this is 912. This is 219. While we are adding the 10, this is 2409. So then we can reach the conclusion that this is 11 times of 219. This is 10 times. Or this is simply 11 by 10. Got it? That is simply 11 by 10. From this step, what is r by 100? We can find it. This is 11 by 10 minus 1. Or that is simply 1 by 10. 1 by 10. As r by 100 equal to 1 by 10, what is the value of r? So that is 100 by 10. So which is equal to 10%. So the answer 10%. So this is 10%. So here the answer is option 2. So this is a tricky way of approach towards this type of question. Understand this type of approach for finding the answer of similar type of questions. Okay. Now consider the next question. A earns rupees 180 per hour and works for 7 hours per day. B earns rupees 160 per hour and works for 5 hours per day. What is the ratio of per day wages of A and B? That's a simple direct question. It's not a complicated one. It's a ratio-wise approach. Here, what is the total wage of A or per day wage of A, and what is the per day wage of B? So A's per hour wage is rupees 180 and A is working for 7 hours. And B's per day wage is 160 and B is working for 5 hours. I just give you a very simple trick for finding the answer of similar type of question instead of doing the entire step of operations. You just observe the first point. 7 is here, the first value. As a case of ratio, therefore, you can apply this trick for most of the questions with this logical type of approach. Look at this 7. This 7, while we are considering this 7. So this 7, it won't be here in the second value. So therefore, we are sure our answer's first value should contain a factor 7. Should contain a factor 7. It won't be simplified. It won't be simplified. So just look at the options. Which of the options first value contains 7 as a factor? 40, it won't contain 7. 33, 7 is not a factor. 20, 7 is not a factor. 63, yeah, 7 is a factor. Therefore, this is the answer. That's very simple. Like this way, we can cast the answer in the similar way. If we are considering the factor 9 in this 180, 9 in this 180, we know that 180 is a multiple of 9, right? 9 in this 180, with the help of that factor also, you can catch the answer. So this 9 won't be simplified with the second value. So like this way, we can catch the answer. Otherwise, what we have to do here, if we are doing the operations, further we can simplify it. We can simplify the like values. This is 18 into 7. This is 16 into 5. Again, we know that this 18 and 16 are multiples of 2. We just divide both the values by 2. So this is 9 times of 2. This is 8 times of 2. What will get 9 into 7? 63, and 8 into 5, that is 40. So we got the answer as 63 is to 40. Further simplification is not possible here. They don't have any common factor further. So next is another data interpretation type question. It's a table-based approach, so not much complicated one. So we have to find out. Table shows the sales of books in thousands from 6 branches of a publishing company during 2000 and 2001. Here the branches are B1, B2, B3, B4, B5, B6, etc. What is the total sales of books from branches B1, B2 and B6 together for both the year? So it's a simple addition type questions. Here B1, B3 and B6. So consider B1, B3 and B6. So we have to add the values together. Here what is B1? 8 plus 105, that is 185. What is B3? While we are adding this one, this is 205. And what about B6? That is 150. Just add up together our required sum, that is 185 plus 205 plus 150. That's a simple question, 150. So here we got the answer like this, 5 plus 5, that's equal to 10. 6 plus 8, 14. 1 is there, so that is equal to 4 plus 1, that is equal to 5. So the answer is 540. It's a direct data interpretation question. So we can do the simple addition type of operation for finding the answer of this type of question. It's not a time-consuming type of questions. Some questions you may get very easily like this by using the very simple type of operations. Now another, it's a caselet type question. Caselet type questions means that question contains a passage like this. In both the areas, logical reasoning areas also, you can expect some of the caselet type of questions like this one. Here also, this is the last set of questions of this quantitative aptitude set. And here, this caselet, it contains a basic information data. Based on that data, you can make the conclusions of the given questions. So here, a newly formed state government wants to bring more development in the state and so on. Some of the basic information given, so those all are not much relevant. From where we have to start our focus. We have to start our focus from this statement. 30% of the population were children between the age group of 0 to 50. So here we are considering different age group and their percentage-wise distributions. 0 to 15, 30%. And the next group, next to child population, 17.75%. The population were adolescents between the age group of 16 and 25. The early adult population, that is the age group of 26 to 35, that is 17.5. And next 36 to 45, 14.5. Respectively. The population are between the age group of 46 to 55, that is 14.25, and the elderly 56 to 65, 5.12, and 66 above, that is 1.13. So these are the simple distribution. These underlined things only we have to focus more. Get it? From there, out of every 5,600 persons, what is the number of persons below the age of 26? So there you have to consider below the age of 26. At that time, we have to consider two different groups, 0 to 15 and 16 to 25. 0 to 15 and 16 to 25. What is the percentage distribution here? What is 0 to 15? There the percentage value is 30%. Got it? Of the population were children between that age group 0 to 50. Next to child population, 17.75%. So that is 17.75%. That's the next group. We have to find out of the every 5,600 persons. So what is the strength of this group? While we are considering these groups together, what it will become, adding them, this is 47.75%. Therefore, the required number is 47.75% of this given value, that is 5,600. So we got that this operation, it's a challenging thing after this step. How it will become a challenging thing? Because we have to do the operations like this. Instead of considering the operation entirely, you can do it in a logical way. So what is the logical way here? 47.75% of 5,600. So you just simply consider what is 50,000 of 5,600? What is 50% of 5,600? So that's equal to 2,300. So like that, we have to consider 2,800. Sorry, 2,800. So this is 47.75%. So that will be slightly less than 2,800. Here again a problem. We have two options, 2515 and 2674, which will be the right one. So that's why we have to consider this step of operation is nothing but 4775 into 56. Like this way we can find the answer. We just multiply them together. This 47.75% of 5,600. What it will become? Just multiply and add together. So finally, after simplifying, we will get the nearest value among this one, that is equal to 2674. So this is the approximate or the nearest value here. Here 47.75 of this 56 while multiplying this one. So that is equal to 2674. So that will be the answer. This is the most nearest one. How to do the operations here? I already mentioned that point. Here 47.75% of 56. Either you have to do the operations directly, just multiply these two values together, or how to do it. You just simply consider what is 50% of 5,600. 50% of 5,600 is 2,800. What is this 47.25? That is slightly less, or that is less than. How much less than? It's lesser from this 50%. That is equal to 2.25%, right? We just subtract 2.25% of 5,600. So immediately you just consider what is approximately 2% of 5,600. Like that also we can do the operation. If we are subtracting 2% of 5,600, we are doing the approximate type of operation. 1% of 5,600 is 56. 2% is 112. So while we are subtracting the values like this, so this will be equal to 8. This is 8. This is 6. So this is 2. Our answer should be slightly less than 2688. Our answer should be slightly less than 2688. Hence the answer is option 4. Otherwise, what will happen? You have to do the entire operations. The similar concepts we can apply for further set of questions also. So the next one, there are 400 million people below 36 years. How many million approximately people are in the age group of 56 to 65? So here we have 400 million people below 36 years. So below 36 years, in the sense we have to consider the different groups there. So what are the different groups there? 0 to 15 groups is there. And next one 16 to, so next group, that is 16 to 25. That's from the basic data. You just look at the basic data. Here we don't have the basic data in this slide. That's why we have to consider it separately. Below 36, up to below 36 we have to consider. Then 26 to 35, that's the next group. 26 to 35. So what is the percentage here? This is 30%. And this one, that is 17.75%. And the next one, that is 17.25%. So while we are adding these all values, that is below 36. Below 36. Below 36. So while we are adding these all values together, what we will get? This is equal to 1. So this 14 plus 1, that's equal to 5. Then 5 plus 1, that is 65%. This is the age group which below 36 years. It is given that 400 million people. So this is 400 million people. Got it? And we need to find out the approximately how many of them are at the age group of 56 and 65. So 56 to 65. What's the percentage distribution here? What is 56 to 65? That is equal to 5.12% from the data. 5.12%. So we have to find out what this 5.12%. And here we are doing the operations like this. This is 400, applying the unitary method, divided by 65 into 5.12. Again, consider it's also a complicated type of operations because time consuming, right? So then, which will be the right approaching styles here? In this type of question, so here, if you are doing the operations, this is 400 by 65 into 5.12. So you can take an approximate operations like this. Suppose if you are considering 400 by 30. So why I'm doing the operations like this? This is an approximate type of operations. So 400 by 65 into 5. So instead of this 5.12, I am taking that as into 5. What it will become? This is equal to 30. Then what is 400 by 30? I'm taking that approximate value here. So 400 by 13 here, we know that 3 times of 13, that will be equal to 39. Then 10 will be there. So that is 0 point something. Got it? So like that. So which is the most nearest value? And the given set of option that is most nearest to the given option, that is 31.50. But very important point, understand the concept. Through the actual operations, I'm not explaining the actual operations here, you have to do the multiply these values, then divide it by 65, that's the usual way. So here, the exact answer, that is 30.16. 30.16. So that is the answer here, but we don't have any such options. So we have to consider the most nearest value, that is 31.50. Some of the calculation wise tricky, confusing things will be there. At such a situation, you have to opt the most nearest value as the answer. Okay, consider the next question. If there are 20 million people in the age group of 56 to 65, what is the difference between the number of people in the age group of 16 to 25 and 46 to 55? First of all, we have to consider the distribution of people from this age group 56 to 65. So 56 to 65, what was the percentage? From the basic data, you have to consider that as 5.12%. 5.12%. It is given that this number is 20 million. 20 million. And we have to find out the difference between the number of people in the age group of 16 to 25. So what is 16 to 25 here? 16 to 25. So 16 to 25, we have the percentage values that are 17.75. From the basic data, you have to collect it, 17.75. And the next one, that is 46 to 55. So next group, that is 46 to 55. What's the group here? What's the percentage here? 46 to 55, that is 14.25. So what's the difference between these two values? Here the difference. Here the difference. Difference of these two values. So while we are considering this one, this is equal to 3.5. So that is 3.5. Got it? So we have to find out what this value. As 5.12% is representing 20, then 3.5% is representing how much? I just give you a very simple trick. So while we are considering this 5 alone, suppose if you are considering the approximate type of operations, 5 is representing 20, then what 3 represents? Or 4 represents, like that. 3 represents is how much? Here we know that 5 into 4 will be equal to 20, therefore 3 into 4 will be equal to 12. So our answer is nearest to 12. Just look at the options. So there is only one option that is nearest to 12. Otherwise, what will happen? What will be the nearest or the most accurate type of operations here? This is 20 divided by 5.12 into 3.5. This is the actual step of operations and its approximate value. It's again time consuming type of operations, but you have to do this types of approximate type of operations for finding the answer of similar type of questions. So this is equal to 13.67 million. Hence the answer is option 2. So this caselet is too much computational wise, means calculative type of questions. So that's why you have to be alert while we are doing this type of questions effectively. Now we can consider the next question. If the difference between the number of people in the age group of 46 to 55 and 26 to 35 is 15.75 million, then the total population of the state is approximately. Here first we have to consider 46 to 55 and other group, that is 26 to 35. So you have to find out what is the percentage wise distribution here. What is 46 to 55? That is 14.25%. 14.25%. From the basic data you have to collect this information. And 26 to 35, what will be the distribution here? That is 17.25. So what's the difference here? So this difference. That is nothing but 3%. Difference is 3%. So this 3% is representing 15.75. Then we have to find out the total. So total population is represented by 100%. Total is represented by 100%. You just simply find out what it will become. So this is 15.75 divided by 3 into 100. We got that idea that 15.75 into 100, that means 1575. We can remove that decimal. Divided by 3. So this is equal to 550. So the answer, it will become, so here, 525. Not 15, 525. So therefore the answer is option 4. This value is 525 million. Got it? Like this way we can easily raise the conclusions. And finally, the final question of this set of quantitative aptitude is this one. Which age group accounts for the maximum population in the state? It's a very simple question. So if you are facing difficulties in the questions, still face difficulties, the questions we discussed up to the question number 49. At that time also, students will get a favorable chance here. While reading the question itself, you will get the idea. Which age group accounts the maximum population in the state? So here, never misinterpret the question. Here question asked by whole, that means while we are considering the total, what is or in which age group have the maximum percentage? So, and the basic statement, it contains that 0 to 15 age group, that children's group, it contains 30%. It contains 30%. Rest all the percentage values are less than 30%. Sure? So, what will be our answer? That is none of these, because there is not any option like this. So, now misinterpret that which among the following should contains the maximum percentage. At that time only you have to consider if the fourth option there is also another one age group, then only you have to think about out of the given set of options which will account the maximum population strength. But in this question, it's plain direct question. While we are considering the entire population, at that time which group contains the maximum percentage, no doubt that is the group of children at the age group of 0 to 50. So these are the questions in your exams. Hope you got all the basic ideas of these all solutions. So you have to learn based on the tricks or the results which we discussed as part of the solution of these all questions. You have to by heart or you have to learn more deeply on those results. Some of the very important results from geometry and algebra we discussed here. You have to collect all the related results in connection with those basic results, and at the same time some logical kind of approaches also required. So there we discussed the case of time and work and time and distance type of questions. The methods to reach the conclusion of those types of questions, means answers of those types of questions, are very important. So you have to practice with the logical kind of approaches towards those types of questions. Right now we can wind up. Thank you.